Okay. Let me think here. Last time we were working on this little game that I started up, and I wrote some notes down. I saved this image. I don't know if I can expand it. That's not great. Just a minute. There you are. It's at the bottom of the list. All right. There we go. Thank you. So, yesterday we built the cube. We built the cube holder, but now I want to add in some functionality. So the whole point of this cube holder that I built, this cube in our little game, is going to represent an audio stream. The cube holder holds the cube, obviously, but also it is going to allow a device to read and write to the cube. Now, in order to do this, we have to kind of get a little clever, right? Because I don't want the holder to have strictly set functions for like any kind of read and write, and I don't want to have a variety of holders. I want that to be in the device itself. The device should handle its own interactivity, and that includes modifying whatever audio stream it's connected to. So what I'm going to try to do is these devices are going to have callable functions. Well, any method is a callable technically, but they're going to have their methods that are strictly for modifying an audio stream. And then whenever there's an interaction, instead of calling those directly, I'm going to pass those into the holder. And then the holder itself, it says read and write. And now that I look at it, I'm like, I don't really know if it matters to the holder. Like, I mean, I could call the function read write, but that doesn't really make sense. So, names aside, the point of this function is just to pass the callable in. And then the holder will call that function with the cube that it's connected to, specifically the audio stream. And that way, when it calls from the device, we can do everything that's device specific without having to implement all that within the holder. The holder should be really stripped down and simple. It's not meant to do a lot. It's literally just meant to, physically hold the cube, which the cube does that already. It technically keeps to the holder. It is beholden to it, you could say. But also, it'll connect the audio stream from that cube into the device. So, let's go ahead and first things first. I have this hover holder function that does a lot of stuff. And then we have a connect function that happens from the cube. And to be frank, I know my name's Joel, but I'd like to be frank. This is kind of because right now the cube, we could fire an event. It feels really messy. Because then it's like, what holder are we connected to or whatever. I think instead of passing holder position, I'm just going to pass the whole damn thing. Here we go. Cube holder. Now, normally this is going to be null. And what we pass in here won't be the position. It'll be yeah. Let's see here. If is grabbed. That's important. So holder will equal this hold. Instead of position, it'll be holder. It's global position, actually. Isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Which reminds me, I should pass that in like that. I should also... We should allow this to be null by default, which is really important. We'll say if Alright, so first of all, we'll just check if the holder is null. Actually, we don't want to return. Let me think here. Because this will get called technically when the cube holder, when there's a mouse over it. Which is like, it's okay. It's fine. Actually, I wonder if I should set holder equal to null. I don't want to... Because we're probably going to have multiple holders. So I don't want the mouse to go over one that doesn't actually have anything. Or worse, that does have audio and then erase it. This is actually tricky because we need some way, something is probably going to have to hold on to all of our cube instances, and then we will ask that parent object which cube, if any, are currently being grabbed. And if so, then we can pass that holder into here. Because if not, how do we know? So if we do it like that, then this feels very tightly bound, and I don't like it. All right, is hovered is simply going to be if our holder position is not equal to vector 0. If hold is null, and holder.cube equals self, then holder should equal null. Yeah. So let's see here. If we're disconnecting, and we should say elif, if the hold is not null, we'll clarify, and the holder is not null. This might be a good one for the first one, actually. Maybe not. We'll see. Man, you're so angry. What? Oh. Duh. My bad. All right. He's hovered. If there's no holder, there can't be a holder position. So if this is null, say is equals true. Right. Right, if it's false, we don't need this variable. What's that holder to null? Here's a funny thing. What if we have a holder? Like, what if hold is null and this is not equal to anything? This is null and holder.cube does not equal self. There's probably nothing to do. Which in my opinion means this one should be first. I foresee trouble. Let me think here. Yeah, hover holder. So if this is null and this holder has a cube that's not equal to our current cube, then we're removing, but we shouldn't remove from where we're at, if that makes any sense. Like, we have a holder that has a cube, and we're saying there's some holder that is disconnected. If this cube is the same that this holder is connected to, oh, sorry, is not the same. If it is the same, and the hull is null, then that means we should be disconnecting. So holder is null and is hovered as false. I wonder if this should be true still. It was checking position before, but it was really just doing like a sort of zero check of like, hey, if this is empty, if it's not equal to 0, we're hovering. So if we have a global position, we should be hovering. We can only have a global position if we have a holder. If we have a holder, if we don't have one, and our cube is connected with this holder, then no, my brain's starting to hurt. If this cube is being grabbed and it is connected to a holder and we're passing the no hold, shouldn't we still be hovering? We only pass null in when we're exiting the thing. And if we're exiting it, then it shouldn't be attached. The moment we pick up the cube, we should be detaching. So this condition would never get reached. Hold is null. I don't know if it really matters whether or not this is true. This actually might be sufficient. And I don't know if we'd need to set this to null. Because the moment we've disconnected. So, if anything, This should be the only time we set it to null. And yeah, I don't think we do this. This is just checking whether or not we're going to hover. If we interact with it, the moment we grab a block, it can't be connected to anything because we've picked it up. Letting go of it may connect it. I'm trying to think through all this. This is like really boring, but tell you what we will do. Holder.cube. We'll set this up. This feels really sloppy. Like too much is handled in this function, but okay. Well, first things first, let's just make sure it still works as it should. We can move it around. We can let it go. Ah, look at that. When you hover over, nothing happens. What's going on? There we go. All right. Does hold null? No. Hold on a minute. But this is null. Would this matter if holder is null or not null? If it's not null, there's something there. All right, let's try not to over-engineer what we haven't encountered yet. Okay. This should cover those use cases. All right, we're hovering, snapping to, picking up. It doesn't, when we pick it up, I still want it to be hovered. I mean, it's not too big of a problem. But, you know, I guess it's fine. It's like if you let go, then it's, you know, going to get confused. So, you know what we should do actually is say if is hovered. If we're not hovered, the holder should be null. If we are hovered, it will remain full. But here when we exit and we say it's null, I'll set it null to here. There you go. Pop in, pop off. It's there. No, that's not the same. Why is this doing this? Let's clear this out. Wait a minute. There we go. Okay. Not hovered. Really? All right, to be clear, if I grab it like this, it's not hovering. Of course not. But if we grab it from here, it is hovering, and it should be. You know what? We're not going to check if it's hovering. We're going to check if there's a holder. Should we still say it's hovering? I don't know if this is necessary now that I think about it, but it's kind of tricky because the moment I pick it up, all right. Yeah. See, that's not fair. I don't know if this is quite it, really. getting hit with the sleepies. Oh, no. What a terrible time. It's the worst time to get hit with the sleepies. Yeah, let's do that. All right, now it'll... Oh, that's right. It'll only trigger if we enter and then exit. And it's like, hey, there's nothing here. All right, we'll clear it all away. You know, can you take it all away? I'm sorry. No, I'm not. You know what it is? Oh, I know what it is. I think I know what it is. All right, so it's gonna go, whoa, cool. We let it go, and then we grab it again. It's not firing. Why? Yeah. Uh-huh. Right. Yep. I don't have a problem with that. Whoops. Oh, it's all working correctly. And then we let go. All right, and then we leave, and it's like, hey, are we grabbing? No. Forget it. Don't do anything. You know? Again, are we grabbing anything? No. So forget it. Don't do anything. All right. Now, it's going to fire one more time. No. I'm going to click the mouse to interact. We are already grabbing the cube. Well, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to click the mouse to interact. If I come from above. Yeah, it still fires. But if I click the mouse now. That's the issue. I'm trying to check this in the wrong place. This might be fine. I'll leave it as for now. Yeah, I mean, I was right initially. There's something to do with this. The real question is, how do we know whether or not it is or was held? We'll just check it, of course. What a fool I am. How could I be so naive? If we're currently... Well, actually, this should be... All right, you two clowns, go away. Ensure we still hover if we're being held. So if we're being held and we grab it, then we want to make sure we're going to hover. Where do we handle that originally? It feels like we're doing this hover business quite a lot. We need to set this equal to true. Yeah, because this fires before the other one. Oh, man, I thought it would fire if the block moves. And then the mouse is able to hit it. But the mouse is able to hit it regardless. Oh, yeah, we did this whole... We turned off the collisions because it was doing... I don't know what it was doing or why. Turning it off fixed it. You know, I'm a real professional now. You've really done it. What? I don't know. But you've done it. All right, so we're going to set hover to true. And we're going to say our holder position... should be the same. Maybe. It's actually interesting to check whether or not this changed. So we'll put a little mark here. And we already set it to true. We don't need to turn that off. Are we shifting? Yes, for the moment. Okay. Once again, this will only fire here. Okay. Our holder position is... Okay. What is it? 0.22, 6.05. Let's... Did it change at all? No. Hopefully... Actually, I'll test... I need to test another use case. All right, we left. The mouse has gone other places. Now we come back and grab it. Our holder position is still the same. All right. For now, I'll just say that doesn't matter. And let's just see how it runs. All on its own. We've grabbed it. We pick it up again. It's still in hover. And it snaps off. And that's kind of what I want. I still want it to be there so if the user lets go, it still returns. Because, you know, you can come by and you're like, I want to... no, I don't want to grab that. Good, good. It's still there. All right. I kind of miss it when it was going insane with all the physics. But, let's see here. Yeah, this is... starting to get messy. Let's see, we're disconnecting. Sure. Let me think here. Did we change anything? No. We did a little bit. I'll just say improved cube to holder interactions. No, that's so vague. Cube snaps back to holder if I would say when let go of, but not left the holder, but like whatever. They can read the commits. Screw them. That'll be me soon. I'll be like, what? What does that mean? Snaps back. Okay. Let's work on our new thing. We're going to have some kind of thing called a device. And it will be... I want to put it in a folder called Interactables. No, that's stupid. I'll put it in a folder called Devices. What do I call this device? I don't know. Class. Class name device. And again, what we're going to have is an interact function and some kind of callable. So for now, we're just going to say interact can be literally whatever. And then we're going to have handle interaction. And I think this will be like a blueprint for everything. I don't know if I'm going to make this something that needs to be inherited. Because realistically, interact is just a vague name. If anything, this base class is really just more for testing to make sure that this logic I'm setting up works. But in reality, when we have a device, every device is going to have its own kind of interaction. And I don't like the idea of naming them all interact, because what if it has 2 buttons? Then you have 2 interactions. So I don't think I want to inherit from this. I just kind of want to mess around here. Okay, so it's very, very important, though, that our device have a cube holder. And we will make sure to store this value. I'm going to use my own naming convention, because I don't care for how Godot does things. I'm just really sassy that way. Maybe one day I'll change. I don't know. Don't count on it. Ooh, and the cube holder. Yes. What do I call this? Pass back. Sounds gross. Or a football play. Pass back. What do you call a function that just passes and calls a function? We should, well, we'll pass the callable, but I think we should also have a Boolean, because the first thing we're going to check is if we actually have a cube. No, I'm sorry. If we don't have a cube, then there's literally nothing to pass, so we'll just return false. Else, we will call the function callable cube dot. Shouldn't it be here? Stream. Yeah. There we go. Callable not found on base self. That's too bad. Maybe I have to call it a different way. And then we'll return true. Call. Double check that one. Calls the method represented by this callable. Arguments can be passed in. Should match the call deferred. Might do that later. This is the device. Cube holder. Wait, what did I pass back? I hate that name. It's terrible. It's kind of what it's doing. I don't know. And then we're going to pass the handle interaction. Now, what's important is the this, we need to make sure that we have the matching function. So we're just going to print actually, we'll say if cube pass back. If true, then print device no. Do I even need to have anything if it's true? If it's not true, we need to say error, no cube found in holder. And then if we do get it, then we say modify stream. And I don't know, we'll list its name or something. Anyway, there it is. This is our functionality. So once again, we have our interaction which will occur, and all we're going to do is say, hey, don't actually do anything. Yeah. Pass this handler down the cube holder and check if there's anything. If there's not, make sure we return that. And then we'll say, hey, call this actual function and pass in the audio stream. Why did you jump to here? I did not call you that. And when we do, we should get here. So, yay. All right, we're gonna need to test the device. What am I doing? Uh-huh. Yeah, and the other one, please. Thank you. All right, cool. We'll want the floor to... Give me everything. I want everything. Should just copy and paste it. You know, I need some kind of blank test environment, frankly. Hold on. This would save me so much time. Environment. Environment. Okay. Yeah, there's everything here. Everything here. Goodness gracious, look at all that. And now our test can just... We can just connect the environment itself. I don't know if actually cube we want part of the environment. Probably want this to be separate. Here we go. And... Oh, yes. What kind of thing are we gonna have? I don't know. Let's just make a weird thing that's round and whatever. Oh, no. Good Lord. Chill out, will you? Yeah, there's our device. It looks weird. Wonderful. We can handle interactions. Tell you what, right now, let's not worry about it. We'll add a button. I mean, frankly, all that kind of just comes later, doesn't it, though? In fact, we should probably have some kind of button component that handles more of the messy side of UI and then just calls a signal to say, hey, someone clicked me. I've been selected. And then we'll go, hey, when that button is selected, you know, do whatever, the thing. The stuff with the whatever. Excuse me. Is what I would say, but I refuse. You're excused from being on this channel. What? Let's see here. If we test here, yes, this environment is fine, wonderful, and we'll walk away from that for now. The one thing we need, last thing we want. Whoop. Whoop. Woo. Cool. Huh. Oh, good. It's not working at all. Why not? Oh. Shit. Because this test was handling this extremely important interaction. And having this handled in a test feels wrong. So, that thing I talked about. You remember that thing I talked about? Well, let's design that thing I talked about. There we go. All right. So we're going to need I hate all these colors. We're going to need some kind of thing to keep actually tell you what, how about no fill? We're going to need something to contain all the cubes, but only in a very loose kind of sense. Outline, watercolor. Can I do that? That doesn't look like a water, does it? Okay. What happened? Do you remember when we used to be able to pick dashes? What happened to that? What happened to that functionality? Now it's like all these brush types. I don't want to brush. Whatever, it's fine. Anyway, so we're gonna have how do I put this? What should we call this thing? There's some kind of system that's going to connect the cubes and the cube holders. Holding system. Sounds like a prison. Sounds like some kind of sci-fi holding system. Yeah, you're in a holding system. This whole solar system is a prison. What a nightmare. Oh, nobody hear that. Don't come up with that idea. I didn't come up with that idea. And we'll call it that. We'll say the cubes. The cubes. No. Cube container. I don't want to call it a container. It's not containing them. And it's not holding them. I could say the spawner. I mean, there's probably going to be something spawning cubes, and what better place to hold on to them. I think that's fine. They'll all come from one spot. Probably just fall from the ceiling or whatever. Something kind of goofy. So we'll have a spawner, and then we'll have... I don't know. Could call it a holder network. You know, it's kind of like we've got a bunch of holders. It's a very loose network. They're not connected like a network normally would be, but they're a group. I don't want to say holder group. That just sounds, I don't know, like an investment firm. So we've got cube spawners that spawns. I'm not going to explain that one. That should be plainly obvious what this one does. Cool. And we also want to have a function. No, we're just going to have cubes. It's just going to be an array of cube. Wow. I frightened myself with my own genius. All right, when we spawn, we will add. I'll just say add. You know. Whoa! What you doing? Oh, okay. You guys are just gonna stop interacting with me. That's cool. What? What was that? Don't make me retype everything. I paid no money for this professional drafting software, and I expect it to work perfectly. Cube, you know, Cunby. Cubes, add. I don't know how to spell. It's just a fact of life. We're going to spawn, and then we might have some kind of function. Oh. Pulled my hair a little. We will spawn a new cube. And then we're going to get like the current held cube. Get grabbed cube. I mean, I don't even explain how that works, but anyway, yeah. We might even store it. We'll have like a signal. Let's just get rid of all this fuss. Function. Oh. I mean, we could have a function to handle whenever a cube is grabbed, but it might just be easier to loop through an array. I mean, how many cubes are we going to have at once? If it becomes too ill performant, we'll fix it. But for now, I think this is sufficient. All right. The holder network. Blah, blah, blah business. Sometimes I try to align these. Let's think here. What is the network going to be doing? Well, we'll probably want all our holders, I would assume. And we need to make sure that holder, I'll say for H in holders, we'll pull one of these. H dot handle I forgot how to spell that. Come on. Thank you. Oh, you know how it goes. No, I don't. Okay, here's where we can either we could add the spawner to the holding system along with an array of holders. When the spawner, and we can say, we can do this. Do whatever to do the thing and whatever. I think the function is called like hover holder. We could do that. Which is adequate. The other way we could do it is, again, if we grab a cube that is spawned somewhere. If we grab a cube and then alert the spawner and send a signal, the spawner itself could let some other system know. And then that system, I don't know. No, I think this should just be contained within here. Yeah. So let's destroy that. we're going to select, and we're going to pick a color. So then we select it. It's not at all what I wanted to do. Goodbye. Die. All right. So now, once again, we shall endeavor to write some good code. All right. So we're going to have our holders, and then we're going to have our spawner. And we'll do that. I'm saying we're going to get our cube, and then we're going to say hover holder, and then pass that holder back in. Yeah. It's important that, okay, stop that. It is important that what's important? I don't know. Anyway, let's make a big old triangle. Whoops, wrong color. This one. The holding system. No, terrible. Absolutely terrible. Where's triangle? It's not even a triangle. It's a square. There we go. All right, so this whole holding system is going to keep the spawner. And it's also, we're going to feed it every single holder. On setup, we will connect all these handle functions. Whenever we are over any of them, it's going to get a grabbed cube. And we should actually check to make sure we get a cube back. Because if we don't, then there's nothing to hover over. But if we do have a cube, then we can pass our holder into that cube. So this is the approach that I'm going to take. Which means we need a cube spawner, and we need to test that spawner. And then we need to build our holding system, and then I have a test for that, which is probably just, we're going to have like 4, and then just a spawner. So we'll spawn some stuff, and then we'll, and we can test to make sure that like one cube moving around isn't going to disrupt the others, and vice versa and such. All right. I'm going to name this. I'm going to go on a break. I'm probably going to get some food too. So, see you in a bit. All right. Oh, yes. So, let's start with a spawner. For now, what should I call this? A cube spawner. Sub. Yeah, cube spawner. Oh. Maybe, I'm gonna call this a system. Because it's gonna be a little vague, but hear me out. Oh. We need a cube scene. I might normally say variant. Do something like that. No. Um, let's not overproduce something absurd. Okay. um, yeah. Cube scene, cubes, spawn. We're going to create a cube from our cube scene. And we're just going to add it directly to our cubes. Now we also want a function called getGrabbedCube. And for this, we're going to say return if any. I hope. Let me think here. You say grabbed equal to true and grab equal to false, and we let go. So that should be good. Yeah. Hopefully there's not more than one grabbed at once. I don't think there should be, but you never know. And we're going to say cube is grabbed. Oh. If cube is grabbed, then we shall return the cube. But if we get through everything, return nothing. Say no cube is grabbed. We will return null. Okay. Let's make a test for this. Cube spawner. Oh, hello. Do you read chat? Sometimes. I'm not used to having chats, so I try to. I try to read chat, Toby. Welcome, also. I'm sorry, I don't know how long that's been there, and I might have answered the question a little too late, but it's good to have you if you're still here, and if not, then you have no commitment. No, I'm kidding. I do apologize, though. I guess if you're gone, then I'm apologizing to nobody. Oh, well. Well, regardless. Oh, there. Yes, you are here. Cool. Alrighty. Let's think here. All right. We're doing a little testing. We just started a project here. Test spawner is in here. Let's connect our environment. As for this, I guess I'll just put it here. Yeah, that's fine. And for our actual test, what are you working on? I am working on let's see here. Oh, I hate that one. I'm working on I guess you could call it like music software in a weird way. But a kind of interactive thing that feels like you're kind of playing and messing around with stuff. If you've ever played the game Odada, this game, which I highly recommend, this is just like you make music. White space languages are the bane of me. Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, so I'm trying to make something that's kind of like this. It's just this sort of interactive little game where you mess around, and by doing so, you're making music. And I want to do that, except I wanted to do it with like music you record. Oh my gosh, yo, the website. Oh, oh, Dada, come on. um, it is a good game. You can find it on Steam. Um, it's hard to describe. Maybe I'll play it on stream at some point. But like, you just kind of mess around and make stuff. Like it really is a blast. Let me think here. Input. Is key pressed. I love how you type it, and for a brief moment, it knows what you want, and then it goes, "Wait, no." Oh, we probably want this. Cube spawner. Okay. When we press S, we're just gonna spawn a cube, and that's this test. Sound like the description of hobby programming? I guess. I mean, I do this as a hobby. I think that should be in view, shouldn't it? Okay, we got here. How would you describe hobby programming? This is something I do in my spare time. I would love to make video games for a living. But you know, you can't just kind of walk into it. Too high level to me. I like the low level stuff. Yeah, I hear you. I want to learn. I've done a little bit in Bevy, written in Rust, and I want to do stuff in Raylib. I actually thought about doing this project in Raylib, but it feels like so far everything I want to accomplish I can do in Godot. And I don't know. I'd rather at least get a prototype out. If there's stuff that maybe I need particular things or whatnot, like I might rewrite it, but I'm not so great with C++. So I do want to give it a crack one of these days, but you know. You don't like its implementation of 3D? What do you feel like are the problems? Or I guess I should say, what do you not like about it? You know what? I just realized what my problem with this scene is. We're not adding it anywhere. We should probably have put that in there. I don't know. That would have been nice. I don't think I need this breakpoint. What the heck? Wait a minute.
People who commit these acts are in many ways no different from you and me, but they are no longer able to control their urges. They disassociate themselves from their own actions, often experiencing an hysterical blindness. They're blind to the darkness within themselves.
Okay, that was weird. I don't know why it kept... Oh, these things don't have a collision? Oh, you know, it sucks. Wait, does clicking create... How many of these do I have? 3. All right, hold on a minute. Is key pressed? Functions seem either too simplified or exposing way too much control. It does feel like it's giving off too much. Okay, that's fun. Well, this is why we test simple crap. Because apparently I'm grabbing both cubes, but sometimes just one. This one drops to the ground. If I grab this one, it grabs both. I can grab this one, it's fine. If I grab this one, they're both there. Why is that? Do I have to... Yeah. Alright, let's spawn another one. I don't like how it calls once. Oh. Okay. Alright. That's why I don't like sometimes the breakpoints. As they stop you and then you pop back into the game and then they resend this signal. Why the hell is it doing this? Well, I think one important thing is the I wanted to have oh, you know what? That's probably why. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So they weren't checking for each other. We still have this weird issue, and I bet right now what's happening is it's spinning because, yeah, it's got two inside each other. And I'm wondering why is it when I grab this one, things are fine. When I grab this one, that's kind of neato. It's not what I want at all. So I don't know. I'm like, do I have to? It feels weird. I would have to duplicate, like. No, that's like dumb. Like I'm instantiating a new one. Yeah. This feels very odd. Tell you what. No. All right, moving inside is not a problem. There's always the option of raw dog and OpenGL Vulkan. Oh, I remember doing the Vulkan tutorial. Which is funny because I feel like I followed it step for step, but at some point it just stopped working and yeah, I'm like, Vulkan's that thing where I'm like, I'm sure it does give a lot of great control. But take this, for instance. There is no reason I need that, you know. Especially right now since I'm kind of prototyping this. Like, I think this would honestly be fun. I think you could make like a good $5 game kind of thing. I don't know, maybe more, but like $8. But it's like if I were to do it in some bigger language, well, bigger, you know what I mean? Like Vulkan, like even OpenGL would be more effort. And at that point, it's kind of like, you know, you don't want to get compensated for your effort, but like, you also kind of have to price it fairly. And I feel like I could probably just do everything in Godot. Oh, watch out, chatter. There's cheap views. I have to pin this message, not because I enjoy it, because it's the only way to delete it. There's one every stream, at least. There's one porno spam message every stream. This is just, I'm powerless to do anything about it. I'm completely helpless. All right, so this is kind of the weird thing. Like, I want to print off the current cube. And I'll just print out the name. So that every time we grab it, we should see it in the output. Yeah. There it is. Cube. Cube. Now, if I print out a second one, it still grabs the first one. It's fine. But let's get a clean bill of health here. And then, yeah. Okay, it grabs both. And that's kind of the weird thing because they should not both be focused. Let's see, focusing on and focusing off. Those are direct bindings for controlling the GPU. There's no reason to use it directly if you're not making graphics library or game engine. Yeah. No, I get you. I guess that's, yeah, that's what I mean. You know, like, again, I think I remember Microsoft Flight Simulator uses it. And I'm like, okay, if you're loading like map data and stuff and a ton of information, then sure. But, I mean, again, this game is going to look very, very stripped down, and it could probably run on any game engine, frankly. Like, if it could do 3D, I'm sure it'll be basically functional. Frankly, what's more concerning is the ability to record. I like to adjust my glasses. No, I don't. I'm OCD. I don't like it at all. But I can't stop. Okay, so focusing on this, focusing off, focusing on, focusing off, focusing on, focusing off, focusing on, focusing off, focusing on, grab. Huh. Oh, scheisse. All right, well, I figured out the issue. When we release, we're just going to say we're not focused. We're really not focused. That should fix it. Okay, that was like clown nonsense. Just what just happened there. Okay, one. Yeah. Now if I let go, it should say focusing off. No, it didn't. It's kind of funny. It says focusing on, even when after I grab it, which I feel like it should not say that. Well, we fixed the issue. We'll have one at a time. Um, so there we go. We can spawn them. We can stack them, kind of, though we don't really care to. We can knock them over and. All right, whatever. Okay, that was fun and interesting. There's all kinds of goofy little problems you keep coming into. But all right. I love assembly. How differently you have to solve problems. Oh yeah, I know somebody who's. I know somebody. I'm sure we all do, but I met someone recently who builds NES games, and yeah, like it is definitely a completely different ball game of like they were having an issue with a particular kind of a space shooter, and they're trying to check for collisions, except they had like 50 things to check for. Um, so like given all the checks and everything, they were like basically they didn't have enough memory. And using quad trees was also like I think too expensive. So they ended up doing this really clever solution. Um, I feel like I don't know if I want to talk about it. I'm sure they might be fine with it, but I might want to guarantee before I just spill it out on stream. It was clever. It was like a pretty clever way to like, um, basically bring down the number of checks by like an order of magnitude. So making it more feasible. But yeah, that kind of thinking about like, really like how am I going to modify memory? Um, Something I've always wanted to like give it a go, but you know, um, it's scary. I'm sure I could probably put together some very simple things. I'm sure there's tutorials like that out there. It'd be nice to try, I'm sure. But x86 is x86. I don't know if I'd say it's newer. It feels like that I've heard of that for a long time, but would you say it is newer of assembly languages or the most modern? Given how far back they go, I'm sure that statement's kind of relative. I ran out of music. We'll do that. Okay. So we've got something for our spawner, and that works fine. Now we need to test. I don't want to test the device just yet. I ain't ready to build a device yet. Not newer really, but it's been updated many years, and it's probably what your computer uses unless you have an Apple. Okay. Cool. Would you say it's like a good? I don't know. Cause like I've never done any assembly, so if I was new to it entirely, would you say x86 is a good start? Let me think here. Test. What did I call this thing? Holding system. Oh, you know what I also need? A holding system to actually test. All right. Let's say view in systems. All right, go away, go away, go away, go away. There we go. It's confusing as fuck. um, well, what is a good start? Is there a good start at all, or is it just one form of suffering to another? We're gonna have our spawner. It's been in use since the 80s. There's so much legacy shit piled on top of each other. Touche. Yeah, I know what that's like. Fun. Let me think. What does our holding system do? Oh yeah, we need to hold our spawner. This should be... Yeah, this should be external. Okay. Let me think here. We're not gonna add that here. We're gonna add this as an export. You should be able to do this on ready. Handle focused. I'm gonna put this over here to the right. All right, handle focused. Still might not be a bad option if you are new to low-level memory management, but if you want something simpler, a 6502. I've heard of those. Different enough it actually might be beneficial for you just to jump the hell into x86. Okay. Yeah, I can't remember whose channel it is. Someone who does videos on YouTube. And it feels like they refurbish a lot of old computers like Commodore 64 and others. But I feel like they mentioned the 6502. Adrian's basement. Hold on a minute. Don't Google Adrian's basement. I don't know what we're gonna find. No, not this person. Commodore X2 is this one 8-bit guy? Yes, this one. I was like, it's someone who lived in Austin at some point, I think. Yeah. I think this person talks about it. And is it Ben Eater? Yeah.
For many years, the most.
I don't know if Ben. There you go. Yeah. This is always I like watching some of this stuff. I'm gonna be honest, setting up circuits, I just remember trying to do it in labs in school and it was flipping nightmare. Do you do the processors you have, are they like running anything, or you said you have them on the shelf next to you, so are they just like sitting in a box or they do something? Sorry, that sounds like a challenge. It's not. I'm just curious. Let's see. Okay. Cube spawner. Get grab cube. Nah. I don't have to do anything, actually. Then... What? Stuck in foam. Wait, what do you mean? What happened? All chips like this into foam so the pins don't break. Like styrofoam? Maybe that's a dumb question. I feel like that would melt. What is it? Oh, holder. Oh, cube holder. I already told you to do that, you dingus. Focus changed. Connect. Handle focused. There we go. All right, cool. This should do what we said we would do. Spawner. Should make sure our spawn test. She checks for that also. If the input is key pressed, just say G. Cube spawner. Get. There it is. All right, if we hit G, nothing grabbed. If we're grabbing something, then it notifies which one we're grabbing. Good. Simply testing that. All right, so here's our holding system. Let's attach a test environment. What am I doing? You. And one of you. And we're probably going to add a couple of these too. Let's just add another node here. In the actual game, these are all going to be attached to like a device. But for now, you know, it's like kind of fine. Wait a minute. Here we go. All right, that's kind of a square. It's square-ish. The spawner shall spawn cubes over here. Now our holding system, we need to assign our spawner and our cubes. Whoops. Click and drag is nice, but sometimes it's just lugubrious. Toby, I gotta know why these chips are stuck in foam. Well, you said the pins don't break. I want to know what kind of foam they are, though. This is just... I'm guessing it's just holding them. Hey, what the hell? Oh, right. There we go. Test holding system. I'll go take a picture. There's none on the internet. Okay. Huh. Really? We're getting some kind of debug error. All right. Focus changed to callable node. Handle focused. Self and is focused. Oh. Shit. Well, we got that one, but we've got this one. A very, very important function. I guess we technically can check this afterwards. If the value is true, pass the holder. Else, we know let the cube know that we're not passing anything. Okay, that should do it. Jesus Christ. All right, well, we got enough cubes. Well, well, well. Look at that. I can't move any of them. Why? Ah. Okay. That's one. All right. Let's see. No. Here it goes. All right, I got a link to a Discord app. This feels like a risk. I will check it out, but also I need to go on break for just a moment. Cool. Thanks for showing me. Normally, I wouldn't trust links. In fact, I never advise anyone to click a link. Discord chat. But I looked it over. It looks similar in format, and the HTML was good as well. Yeah, you can never be too careful. Yeah, I've seen these. What's the MOS and actually, what do any of these numbers stand for? I like learning about this stuff. I like anything software, frankly. I'm gonna keep working on this thing, but I would love to know more. Oops. Oh, I think here is held. It's false. So grab is true and held is false. That's correct. Okay. Yeah. And then we let go. Huh. I wonder, do we? Oops. Oh, of course, that works. Okay. Still gets focused, so that still gets called. So what's not happening here? MOS is the company who designed them. 6D502 is the model. 1323 isn't. Related to who and when manufactured them? Huh. You're a little scared these are refurbished from China. Oh. Ah. So you're not certain, like, what's on them? How much data can you put on a 6502? Oh. You're not certain they are 6502? Couldn't you make like a simple test bed that just tests like all the pins, see how they normally would function? I guess if someone was clever, they could probably try to fool you, but... Oh. Oh, it's a CPU. Oh. RAM doesn't hold info. What's the scary thing about them then? Is it just the quality? Could, but I'll do that when I try to use them. Yeah, touche. Oops. All right. Let's see if this output message works. Huh. I can't focus on this cube. I can focus on these. All right, so the issue isn't here. I can move these around fine. But something weird happens when we lose them. I know what's wrong. I think I know what's wrong. I think it's the fact that it takes a month to ship 2 of them from China for $4. That's quite a lot. At least a long time. Is $4 cheap for those? I would think so, because it feels like they're pretty old, but I don't know. All right, so I think I get what the problem is. It's a matter of like the order of things that are firing. Yeah, I'm guessing this is never grabbing an actual cube. So when we focus... Beforehand, we were expecting to have a cube. What if we're not grabbing one? Then it's not getting here. And if it's not getting grabbed, it's not resetting the collision layer. They used to cost $10,000. Gee whiz. Oh. Oh, never mind. I was like, buddy, I can't log in. Yeah, I've seen this diagram before. All this stuff. I thought that I typed that correctly. Maybe it autofilled. Man, 10 grand for one chip? That's insane. That feels like it would have been insane at any point in time, but... Was that like when they first came out? All right. Connect. I don't know if I need this anymore. I don't know if this gets called with a null condition anymore, frankly. Huh. It does. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep that. All right. Well, I can click it. Oh, wait. Oh, I have to click and. I knew these are too damn tightly coupled. Slow computers cost over $150,000. When was that? My God. All right, so wake up at 5 a.m. I don't want to go to sleep. Well, I'm guessing you're in a different time zone. Are you in England? Or, sorry, it said Waterloo. I guess I am assuming. Back in the 70s. Yeah, I guess that's when it would have been that expensive. I can click it once and it lets go. This whole thing is like too dependent upon Cube handling everything, I think. Oh. Fuck. I don't know why I can't move it. I've held. What do I really need? False, null, 0. Turn off the collision layer. Hold it to hover. It does that. This? No, I don't want that. I want it to stay hovered. I just want it to follow the fucking mouse. What happens when we leave? That's the real question. England, France, Germany, and Italy. That's the whole Europe according to the US, isn't it? No. I know those are different countries. At the very least. England, Wales, Ireland. I don't know a lot about Ireland, but isn't North and South technically distinct? Scotland, Germany, Austria, France, Spain, Portugal, Hungary, Ukraine, Italy, Vatican City, Amsterdam. No, not Amsterdam. The Netherlands. I mean, it's there. Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, Iceland. Is Iceland part of Europe? I mean, I know it's not on the continent, but neither is England, technically. Or any of the other Scandinavian countries. Well, I guess they are. Just doesn't feel like it because they're, hooked around. I don't know. Estonia, Latvia, Czechoslovakia, Poland. Did I say Austria? Switzerland? 51 countries. None of the ones you said. Iceland is not Czechoslovakia. Is that not a country? All right, well, listen. We hardly... I feel like I did pretty good. I feel like I did better than most. Slovakia, okay. Is it Czech Republic and Slovakia then? Much better than most. I'd like to hope so. I know I missed a bunch of other ones. Bulgaria? Yeah, I'm tabbing out. Greece. Oh, forgot about Greece. I don't know who that is. Never heard of him. I almost said, is Macedonia still a country? But I don't know if they've been a country for like 3,000 years. Or maybe they are. I don't know. Since you're okay, since you're in Europe, do you get they're considered an empire before Christ? Yeah. For Rome. Or at least I think so. I always learn Greece / Macedonia and then Rome in history. But sometimes I feel like they teach chunks of empires, and when you learn chunks of empires, it's kind of funny how like things overlap, and it like, how can I put this? It's like certain things will happen at the same point in history, but you learn about one, and then you learn about a completely different one, and it always pictures in the mind that they happened here when maybe they happened like this. 5,000 years ago? Really? I don't know the Macedonian Empire is that old. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So does your stuff ship from like rail across the continent, or is it go through sea? I would imagine probably the sea, but I don't know. We do a lot of freight shipping in the U.S. It's too bad we don't want to, send people. It's always bullshit. I don't care what anyone tells you. Literally, the U.S. expanded westward with rails, and nowadays people are like, we could never send people on a railroad. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? Fun fact. Your railway system sucks. Yeah, I know. It's all right northeast, because that's like where basically like a lot of the actual passenger rail is. And then like once a week you can go from like Chicago to Seattle really slowly. Yeah, no, it always amazes me. I'm like, fun fact. So our highway, we have a big highway system. We call it the interstate system. And it connects everything like a railway. Yeah, so this system was an idea by, at the time, the head of the Department of Transportation, who was the former president of General Motors. And then after he retired from that position, he became the chairman of the board of General Motors. So if you want to know why we have an interstate system and not rail, that's kind of partly why. That's a huge reason. Because it is funny, because people will spend like $10 billion and like 15 years widening a highway, just a chunk of it somewhere. And then of course like traffic gets worse and it's terrible, and now it's like you have more road to pay for, to upkeep. But then like, they're like, can we have $5 million? Our buses, the wheels are flying off, and then people are like, no, that's communism. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Anything remotely useful to the public half the time there's just this sort of witch hunt nonsense where people just say it's communist. I'm like, you guys have no idea what communism is. We have never been remotely close to being communist. But there's enough, fear in people's minds about it that, the idea of like building a sidewalk is just like, it's so stupid. It's depressing. I've wanted to move for a while, frankly. I'm just so tired of it. Like, I don't know. Give it like 80 years and a lot of change. Because I think a lot of younger people, like, A, cars are more expensive, but B, a lot of younger people just like, they don't give a shit. They're just like, I don't care. I'm not obsessed with cars like older generations are. They're just not brainwashed. They're just tired of it. Which matters, but of course, a lot of people didn't really give a shit, and we still ended up in this place. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, you can give it a few decades, and there's certain parts of communism. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, it's I don't want to get into it right now because it's a lot. But yeah, there's all kinds of BS where it's just like, communism is just kind of the bad PR, blasphemous word in American culture that means evil. I mean, I wouldn't even be pro-communist, frankly. But it is funny that like we used to have like good health care. We almost had free college. We got very close. And then like a lot of other things, like literally back in after World War II, like there was a ton of shit that made the country like super healthy. And it's funny because you'll suggest doing anything like that these days, or like people are like, oh yeah, like Medicaid and Social Security can be cut away. Mind you, anybody who suggests that usually doesn't have a plan to pay back the people that paid into that. They always treat it like it's some kind of grift or theft plan, and I'm like, we've all paid into it. Like if you paid any taxes, at least income tax, then you've paid into Social Security. So anytime people are like, we should end it, and I'm like, are you going to pay everybody back? Or no? Because if not, then you're the only thief. That's like saying like, hey, we shouldn't, put our money together in this chest. That would be a bad idea. Are you going to give it back to us? No. What money? Like, I don't know. USSR made communism bad. I hear you. Slovenia made communism work. I didn't know you guys used to be a communist. Is that, I don't know, like, any of your country's history. Forgive me, but I'll ask questions at least. Was that, like, were y'all occupied by USSR? Were y'all like a territory of, or Slovenia, Slovakia are not the same? Fucking goddamn it. You're right. I'm sorry. All right. Well, you're from Slovakia. You used to have communism. Slovenia made it work. What would you say they did that made it work? Czechoslovakian Soviet Republic. Okay. Yeah. I've seen CSSR. I didn't realize that's what it meant. I don't know. Sometimes history is just, the Red Menace, and it's like, I don't know. I get that, like, in high school, sometimes people have a lot to cover, but it'd be nice if sometimes our education system just tried to challenge people harder. And I went to a private school, so my education was, like, kind of good, but kind of skewed. And there's stuff that I didn't learn. There's private education for you. Try a university in the U.S. Oh, don't. I especially right now with, I wouldn't suggest coming here at all right now, frankly. There's a lot of very fucking disturbing shit happening live. And I wouldn't advise it. Second of all, there's a lot of people who literally are being sent away for their political differences. So that's fun. But also, yeah, like even if that, the amount of debt is insane. It's a problem. I've got it. A lot of people have, and it's one of those things you're told, like, you know, go to school. You'll get a great job. You'll be able to pay off your bills and everything. And, you know, and here I am unemployed and the economy's fucking tanking and I still have debts to pay off. It was a mess. Like the Company of Americans. I hear you. I don't know. I'd say maybe there's some in your local area or something. You're always welcome here. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'd go to university somewhere where it's covered already. That shit will stick with you. Oh my God. It's obscene. And we used to have stuff that like, more fun. I suppose, I'll take your word for it that we're more fun. I think like we're a lot more chaotic. I don't know. America's, it's always been called a great experiment. Well, I think democracy has been, but I feel like someone referred to America as something like that, but lately it feels like the experiment is getting a bit volatile. So, yeah, I'd watch out for that, honestly. I'll say it. There's some real fascist shit going on, like people getting arrested without a warrant, without due process, being sent to prisons in other countries. Like, it's pretty freaky. And this country has had a history of injustices, so I'm not going to pretend like this is new. But anytime it happens, of course, it's like, you know, they're literally right now, the administration, is looking to suspend habeas corpus. And I think the only time we did that was when we had a civil war, about 150 years ago. We're not in a time of war. Just because there's people immigrating here legally or otherwise, like, we are not under any kind of real attack or invasion. Believe me, like, I live near a damn Air Force base. I would know. We're under no serious threat right now, but this administration is using a lot of that to, frankly, overreach its power. We have 3 branches of government. They're supposed to keep each other in balance. The administration branch is getting aggressively overpowered. And sadly, a lot of people are just like, have a cultish devotion to the point where, like, they really don't care what happens. They feel like I think a lot of people are out for blood, and it's scary and disheartening and disgusting, but also like very foolish, because if you give someone who wants power more power, you're fucked, because you haven't helped yourself, you've helped them. So okay, I'll check out that video in a bit. I want to get back to this. But yeah. 30 seconds. All right, I'll watch it. Oh, ads. I've seen this. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, no. I don't like his use of the R word, but I get what you mean. It is deeply frustrated. And there's been for years like just this weird obsession of like being educated is somehow evil or bad or like to your detriment. Like it is so absurd. It's nuts. People are like, don't go to university, you'll get brainwashed. Instead, do and think like I tell you to. Like, what? Like, it's dumb. But a lot of it is like a cult. That thing of like, it really doesn't have to make sense when you believe it. Your brain is like committed to it, dedicated to it. Like a religion, you know, it is like this zealous obsession. And like, at that point, it's like, you really can't talk to somebody about it because like their brain can't get past the barriers in their mind of like, no, I must be right. And if you disagree with me, you're evil or you're being fed lies. Like, to not even stop to question probably the hardest but most important question: am I wrong? Because we often are in life. It's very valid. I was wrong in how I thought flipping the collision masking worked yesterday. That was a harsh lesson, but like I've learned and now I know a little better. And it does feel like there's an obscene obsession with like, you know, any kind of just like question or doubt is just like a weakness. Ugh. Anyway. What is wrong with what I'm working on right now? I have an issue where we can have a cube, it attaches, I can grab it and leave it, but only if I also touch this pad. And I can't grab it a second time. This feels like it needs a redesign. Toby, did you have to hop off? Or did you reconnect just now? It says welcome to the chat room, so there may have been a connection issue. Let me think here. If we're grabbing something. Oh. Bye-bye, Toby. Thanks for teaching me about circuitry, and it was nice talking to you about Europe and a lot of stuff, really. I hope you get every minute of sleep you can. So, thanks for joining. All right. This thing that I've made worked fine, but I feel like I've designed myself into a corner, and we need a way. For starters, I wonder why we click it once. If we're held, it says hovered. It shifts. We're done shifting. We kind of level out physics and we say we're not shifting anymore. But something else that happens is we're grabbing. We're not held. That's always going to be true. If we let go, grabs falls, his focus is false. If we're hovering, we return the slab. Basically, that reset is the only trigger that kicks us out. This won't fix our problem. I just... It's funny you can click it once. Oh, well, I know it's wrong. Maybe we say if it's not hovered. Oh, wait a minute. We already have that. Gee whiz, every time. All right, so we can click more than once. That's nice. But of course, the obvious problem is that when we're far off the pad, how do we move it without? I have a really weird idea that seems like a really bad idea architecturally. Like, this doesn't feel like a good way to set it up. But it technically will work. All right, here's my idea. So oh. When we disconnect, we will do this. Oh, this feels weird. I don't know if we can disconnect a function while the signal's calling said function. Well, let's see what this does. Might blow everything up. Gotta resolve external class member queue. What? Right. Oh. Yippee. Yeah, this feels like a real nightmare. If holder is not null. I mean, if it is null though, we're not being held. There is a really simple trick. We could just pop it up a little bit. No, that won't help because the top of it could still be grabbed. Yep. You're having lots of problems calling these things. All right, that was a terrible idea. I regret ever doing it. It was bad. Very bad. Ay. Vollpadana. Yeah, again, we don't have a problem as long as the mouse is entering and exiting this. The problem, of course, is if we click the top of the cube and we haven't entered that block, it still thinks we're there. Oh, until we touch another one. That's kind of funny. Doop. Huh. Boop. Well, I don't know. This feels like it would be enough of a pain. I feel like we should let users know what's going on. Excuse me. I'm frozen. I need help. There we go. Okay. I figured out a solution. So beforehand, the issue what we were having is that the only way to exit hover was to happen here, this function called externally. Of course, if we don't trigger that function, then we couldn't exit. So instead, kind of wonder. Do I need to make sure this is turned on? Disconnecting. There we go. When we exit the cube, we check to see if we're hovered. If we are, doot, we just disconnect. So we can now move our body freely. Which is really what I wanted. And, you know. Oh. Huh. That's interesting. Fun. Let's do another one. Come on. Get in there. Yeah? No. I don't want to join. You can get in there. You can probably get in there. There we go. Now we've got 3 of them. Can we put 4? I wonder how many we could get in. Yeah. I mean, this is this is good use of our time. But the good news is we can remove these. And I'm glad I noticed that, because we definitely do not want this kind of behavior actually at all. And I don't know what the heck happened a moment ago. Anyway, we can kind of pop things on and off, which is good. This whole thing is a mess. It needs a refactor. I don't feel like I'm up for it today, but I'll probably do that in a bit. What one other thing? What one weird trick do we need? If we get to this point, let's say we've got a cube and the value is true. We should also yeah, so we'll say in holder cube equals null. Because if not, we don't want to grab. Excuse me. This should be fine. Yeah. So it looks like, let's let these settle down here. So, okay. So we're not getting any kind of behavior triggering, which is good. So we're not going to risk. Oh, look at that. Now you have a problem here. What? You know what it is? It's probably this. Another if check. Do I dare? This doesn't feel like it makes any sense actually to do it like this, but I hit S once. Yeah, see, look, it stops. What's happening? All right, clearly this is not a very surefire check. This was working, wasn't it? I want it to be like snap, 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 Wait, why is it? What? Why did it? Why is it grabbing both of these stinking things? Hmm. I wonder if I should just have. Notice this only fires whenever there's an actual collision. So I have a clever plan, my lord. A very clever plan. We don't need this whole thing. We only need a quad mesh. Because we only need one surface. And we don't need this static. Okay, we do. How high is that? 0.1? There we go. All right, so we... No, wait, hold on a minute. Delete that. And let's see here. Collision shape. Tri-mesh sibling. There we go. Do you depend on the name of this? No. All right. Okay. Now we only have this one mesh. I'll do that, and we'll do that. And the cool thing about that, it's real neato, is that now what else do I need to check? You're fine. Spawner? No. Ah. 0.5. All right, so now we shouldn't actually be able to trigger this because someone is already taking up the space. And that's actually just a neat little trick. Now, there might be occasional use cases, but again, this is a small game, so as long as we keep these design constraints very tightly fit, then we should not have an issue. You don't have anywhere to go, but that's okay. Oops. I got it kind of bounces. It's kind of funny. Is it a problem? Kind of. Very much so. We should... I'm gonna make it. I think it's okay for it to spin. Huh. I don't want to zero everything out every time, but I feel like this would be. We're not stopping it. We're settling it. No, we're gonna zero. So it'll be true by default. Except this one time we call it here. I'll say don't bother. Ah. Oh look, now it's like this. What if I lock the axis? Oh. Whoa. Shush. Stop. What? I hate this so much. Common parent is null. I'm like, buddy, which one? Like what do I do with that? You can't just say shit like that. Where do they go? Okay, apparently I've deleted. What, like, can I get that back? Yeah, why did you disappear? Sometimes the undo function in Godot is very weird. Okay, hold on a minute. For now, no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Whoops. Uh. All right. Clearly that did not work. Make static. I don't think it really did anything. I wonder if any kind of collision mode makes a difference, frankly. Cool. That's a lot of cubes. Cool. Feels like we did a good job testing that. All right, now for the actual flipping this. Will this work? No, of course not, because I need the... It's just a mesh. Um... All right, and how we do this is we're going to say make this editable children. Okay, and we'll put this in here. That should connect it. Good, all right. As per usual, we must tell it what to do. Neat. Well, it does connect. All right. We'll put a second check here. I for interaction. Say the device interact, and we'll see if it prints out the result we're looking for. And we've got it connected. Huzzah. What do you mean? What? Oh, fuck. Oh. Yes. If stream is null, huh? We'll just create one if it is. We hit I. Hey, no cube found. If we attach a cube, it should say, "What's fucking wrong with you, man? What do you mean, no name on audio stream? Is there no name, period?" I thought it's an object, and an object has a name. Yes? Does it not? Um. Uh. Do resources have names? What if I just print the stream? I don't know. Okay. Oh no. Yeah. What are you doing, man? Stop. Why you keep calling? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? All right, no cube and holder. Now there is a cube. All right. I think that'll do it. All right. That works. We're able to pass stuff down, return whether or not we have something, and run an interaction. Probably should just do that. Yeah. Different ones. Oh. Oh. Well. The stream is still null, but point is, it does come back. Yeesh. Okay. Added spawner. Holding system. And device. Not interactions. Connectivity. That's like kind of what we're doing. All right, whatever. Push it to main. Everything right now is on the main branch. Once we get past this prototype version, we'll actually start making feature branches. But for now, yeah, I think this is pretty good. I got some stuff I got to take care of, and I don't know. I might be back later, but for now, it's been fun. You know, a little stressful, but it was nice to have Toby stop by and talk to us about all kinds of things. And as always, I'm the Triangle. Don't forget to go try something new.